So, first law of power. It is never outshine the master. And what this means is no matter what you're doing, there's going to be somebody above you. Unless you're literally the president of the United States, or you're the owner of the sports franchise, or you're Roger Goodell. I'm trying to name people off the top of my head, but I really can't think of people that don't have somebody looking over them. And this is something you're going to come into contact with, because when you start doing good, when you aim to be exceptional, you're inherently going to hurt your boss's ego. Your boss is going to see you outshining them, or they're going to see you doing great things, and they're going to get a little bit jealous. And this is frustrating because it's a hard thing to do. Like, you want to do the best job, but at the same time, you can't take the credit away from the boss, because the boss has their own ego. The boss is going to be the one that's paying your salary. The boss is going to be the one that's giving you the performance review. They're going to be the one that's telling the boss above them, like, hey, you should promote this guy. And you can't go above them. You can't outshine them. You can't be that second string running back that scores 4 touchdowns and the first string running back gets 2 carries. That's not what we should do, because strategically this is the worst strategy. Yeah, if you can position yourself in a way where you don't have to have a boss anymore, okay, maybe it's worth it to, outshine the master. But at the same time, you need to know your place, and you need to use that to your benefit, because when you do something great, you should always give credit to your boss. You should always say, well, oh, this person helped me with this. Even if it's not their help that helped you out, you should still give them the credit, because that shows that you're going to do that on the next level, and you're that much more likely to move up. And the reason why I really want to start with this law is not because it's the first law in the book, but because I have a story that pisses me off to this day, because had I read this book in that moment, I would have known how to handle this situation, and there would have been just a lot less just bullshit I had to deal with. And the story involved me when I was I was an orientation leader for college, and one of the duties as an orientation leader was the first day or two we were moving people in. So as we're moving people in, I'm carrying fridges up 3 flights of stairs, no elevator, literally just me carrying like a 50, 60 pound fridge. It wasn't that heavy, but it was just more so like the steps, and then holding it, waiting for the dad to move, and this and that. Like it was just a long day doing that for like 8 straight hours, 10 straight hours, whatever it was. It wasn't fun. We all go out to eat as like a group of orientation leaders, and then there's the orientation leader's boss, who are also just volunteer students, and we're just sitting around, and this guy's talking about how tired he was. He's talking about, oh my God, I got up at 4 a.m., I got up at 5 a.m. Whatever he was saying, it was just pissing me off, because in that moment I was like, dude, why are you complaining? I was the one carrying fridges upstairs all day. You were standing around checking parents in. And in that moment, he lost it. In that moment, he got so pissed. And like, I didn't back down. I didn't say, oh yeah, but that must be hard too. That must be hard having to deal with people. That must be hard having to deal with parents that are, their kids are going away for the first time and they don't know how to deal with it. It's very emotional. It's going to drain you emotionally. Like, these are all the things I should have been saying, but instead of that, I just stared at him and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And then, later on that day, the head of the entire thing literally sits me down and he's like, so you were doing some insubordination? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, I had a report that you were telling people that their job wasn't hard. And I was like, okay, well, I explained the whole situation. I explained how I could have handled it better. And I ended up having a heart-to-heart with one of the leaders, and it was just frustrating that I had to get to that point, because this was something that was so simple. This was something that was so trivial. But because I hurt this kid's ego in that moment, he felt the need to report me to the top of the food chain. And it's just like, had I tried to pursue like going up for that next position, going up for the manager of the organization, like, I would have been held back because of this dude reporting me. And this is just a clear example of like, you can't outshine the people above you. You have to shine them before you shine yourself. And it's a frustrating thing, but this is something that you need to keep in mind, because I literally had a friend who, he literally was on the verge of getting fired because he just kept telling the partner at his accounting firm how bad the person that was teaching him was, and then the person that was teaching him was telling the same partner, how bad he was. And it's just like, these people are in charge of you. These people make or break if you make money, and you can't talk shit about them. You can't outshine them. You can't damage their ego, because these people, for the time being, have the control over you. So we need to find a way to calm this situation down. We need to find a way to give credit to the master. We need to find a way to give credit to your boss in all circumstances. Whenever you get a compliment by somebody at the top of the food chain, always say, this is a piece of life advice. I don't even remember if this is in the book or not, but always say, oh, well, I had a question and this person really helped me, and it really helped me guide you this way. This is something I literally did, and to this day, like, I have a great relationship with my current boss because I did this several times. And it's something so simple, but something so important. So with that said, I urge you to read this entire book. I'll leave a link in the description to the book, and yeah, stay tuned on this channel for more book reviews, more laws of power that I go through, and hopefully you guys learn something from me. Hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes. Don't say that carrying fridges is harder than checking parents in. So that's the moral of the story. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.